Oh!
Oh, it's blood dripping out of it now.
Yeah.
Hey everyone, hope you had an amazing week as usual. Now, as promised in my last week's video where I built my Silver Bullet, my retro giant, I'm here at the Nationals at Shipley Glen. I absolutely love Shipley Glen, it's one of my favourite places in the UK. I travelled down here last night with Ross McCarver, stayed at my dad here nice and early, and yeah, I'm really looking forward to this. Now, if you haven't seen last week's video, it'll be linked up on one of these sides here. Go check it out. It was actually really well received. I thought it'd be a total Marmite bike, but people seem to be loving it. Since then, I've had a little test ride and there has been a couple of changes. Notably, the rear tyre. I've changed from the Conti de Kaiser. It was just so heavy, combined with this heavy rim, heavy hub. The back end of this bike was just an anchor. So a quick call to Tyre Bikes got me a Jitsi reverse tyre and that saved quite a bit of weight there. You may also notice I've changed the brake levers from the LX1s to some of my favourite levers for V-brakes at least, the Avid SD7s. Now, the eagle-eyed among you also know I currently have a black cable. The reason being that the linked cable just didn't really work that well for the back. It was kind of smooth, but I've felt smoother brakes before. But just the links, as I explained in the build video, they just can separate a little bit and they just don't feel that great for a long break. When I put in my order for the rear tyre at Tyre Bikes, I got some Shimano oversized gear cable and that back brake feels amazing, so stoked. The last thing I added is a brake booster. This frame doesn't have any reinforcement around the brake mounts like a lot of modern trials frames, so the back brake was a little bit on the spongy side, so an old school Shimano XTR carbon booster has done the trick just to stiffen it up a little bit. Ross and I have already signed on. I'm probably going to go around with him as usual. I won't be able to film everyone here. I will try and make this as quick and easy to watch as possible, but it's going to be a long day. I'm riding Red Route and I'm really looking forward to it.
Quick warm up.
Hey. So I've turned up on my old school bike, obviously, but I'm pleased to say I'm not the only person in an old school bike, and there's a bike just here. It's a bike I actually really want. It's a bike I used to have. That's a Monty, what is it, 231, yeah, 26 inch, or back as I had it. I actually had a 25 inch rear wheel. So this is Alex, and I'm gonna get him to explain a little bit about his bike because it is actually really cool. How did you come about this bike? And
Well, I was just looking at the market on eBay while I was laid off injured and trying to cheer myself up, and I saw it on eBay for 50 quid, so I took the journey, brought it home and fixed it up. It needed brakes, a bottom bracket, a new set of cranks, a new freewheel and just brake pads and all the rest of it, and I needed to change the tyres out as well because they were pretty rough.
20-year-old tyres.
Yeah.
Really cool to see you still got like the original gears on it, and you're saying it's the original silent clutch rear hub on it and stuff like that.
Yeah, the next I was in two minds about running that, but it's turned out to be alright if you can put up with the slack.
Yeah. No, it sounds really quiet. It's really nice as well. These bikes are generally really cool. I've been looking to try and find one of these, but they're so rare because they weren't necessarily known as the strongest bikes in the world.
No,
so, to last 20 years, find one that's not cracked is pretty good work. So yeah, great to see it. Great to see you here, and looking forward to seeing you riding it.
Yeah, man. Good sesh. I hope you do well today.
Cheers, you too, man. Nice one.
With warm-up done and more bike talk out the way, we had a quick riders briefing to let new riders know the rules and advise where the sections are.
We have 3 laps of 5 sections. There are 3 sections along the top, and then
if you put your foot down, you get a dab. You don't get the points.
The rules can seem a little confusing, but everyone here is happy to help guide you if you need more help.
You're into the next sector, and as long as you don't put your foot down.
Straight into the first section, and despite looking to see which gates are mine, I get a little confused and think I'm about to pass through the wrong one. I end up dropping down, and once I figure it is the right gate, I just side up back up. The next gates were a little hidden, but I had made sure to know where they go. Despite this bike being no pogo stick, I decided to stay on the rear wheel to save some time. The next gate is where I went wrong though. There's 6 gates in each section and you need to do them in the correct order. They're numbered, but I got them wrong and ended up doing gate 6 instead of gate 5. I failed the gate anyway, but I could have had a better result if I had attempted and cleared the correct gate. 30 points out of a possible 60.
And then I think it's 5.
So I had to do that one next. Ah, okay. Let's get lost.
30.
Thank you.
After Ross and friends did the section, more on them later, it's time for the second. This was a long one and had a particularly tricky gate halfway through. The start was also concerned with a fairly large side hop. Fortunately, I find side hops with older low BB frames quite nice, so it went up easily. After that, we dropped down some ledges, then had to get down a tricky chute, the type that can quite easily cost a dab. The big rocks are the safe points, but no time to rest. A tricky drop onto some rocks and roots take me to the next takeoff for the hardest gate of the section.
That's horrible.
Now I'm used to harder compound street tyres, so I was genuinely amazed when my back tyre gripped here. I wasn't sure if I could make this gate and it took me by surprise. I'd also used a lot of effort and the niggly rocks immediately afterwards almost caught me out. Like before, there's no time to rest. The next gate was tricky, but I figured if I took a longer route over these rocks, then turn around, I could use the top one to gap to the next gate. The downside was it took a lot more time and energy.
Yeah, I've got this one, yeah. 20 seconds.
By this point, my arms were pumping up and my legs were getting a little jelly-like. I still had a couple of gates left which weren't as hard, but had become so due to my fatigue. It was pretty sketchy, but I managed to get through them and not fall down the hill.
One.
I did run out of time though, so didn't get maximum points. But 50 out of 60 isn't bad at all.
Going. Thank you.
The third section had a fun start. I always liked this area, and these first couple of gates are lines I've done dozens of times before, even if they were 15 years ago. No drama getting through these. The next gate was on the other side of these rocks, and I had a choice. Go around them or go over. Going around seemed boring, so over I went. But in hindsight, this was making things harder than they need to be, as there's an awkward drop, which was way worse than expected. But I managed it alright and landed right where I needed to be for the next gate, which was a simple side hop. The next gate wasn't so simple. The biggest move of this section up a large rock. I've done this in the past from a bunny hop, but I've never bunny hopped this bike before. Plus, the run-up's a little rough. It took me a little while to work out my best plan of action, but I ended up trying a side hop. I knew I couldn't make it to the top, but I did see a bit I thought I could hook my front wheel over, and perhaps a small bump in the face for my back wheel to grip. This was wishful thinking though, as I didn't get the grip and came sliding back down.
Yeah, that's a big one. Thanks a lot. Cheers. Nice hill climb to start.
As I just mentioned, this section has a hill climb start. I used my bigger wheels and more relaxed geo to speed over the small lower rocks, and then simply tried to get to the top as fast as possible. The more time spent hopping up this, the more tiring it will be. The key is to make sure you land where you know there'll be grip, and don't spend too long thinking about the next hop. Once up the hill, we had to go back down. The gates took us over a steep rock, and most riders would use the rear wheel control to hop down on the back wheel and try not to gain too much momentum, as they might shoot past the next gate, wasting time and energy getting back up. Once my extra dog obstacles were out the way, I decided to be old school and simply roll down instead. This was risky, as I could go over the bars and crash, clip my bash guard on the rock and lose points, or simply not be able to stop. Fortunately, none of these things happened and it all went well. The dogs were in my way again here, which wasted time, but I'm happy to have got down with my feet up. It's sections like this that make me wish I had a front disc brake. The noise is horrible. I was tempted to gap through this gate from a higher point, but the takeoff wasn't great, so I used up more brake pads and go all the way to the bottom just to be safe. Does anyone recognise this rock, by the way? Yeah, it's the one I did a gap to stoppie over on my Hex last year. But anyway, back to the section. Only one gate to go, but from walking this section, this is one I know I can't do. It's a large side up to my bad side and from a tight takeoff. I look at it anyway, but it just confirms it's out of my league.
Yeah, no chance. Oh, cheers. Noisy brakes. I miss disc brakes.
The last section of the first lap, and one with no gates that give me any serious concern. If I do it fast enough, I see no reason why I can't clear it. The first couple of gates were quite fun, especially the second, which was a nice gap up to front wheel. Things then got a little more tech. After a drop, the next gate leads us around a tree and over small and sometimes loose rocks. This took me longer than I thought, but I did want to try a different line to most people, and instead of going low, I kept high, as this helped me line up better for the next gate.
Oh, come on. Oh, that's disgusting.
Even though I was now nicely set up, this next gate was nasty. It was over an off-camber rock which had a very sharp edge, as I'll personally find out later. I need to be very controlled over this and land exactly in the right spots to get grip and line me up the right way for the next gate.
Nice.
That ended up going perfectly and felt pretty fun as a bonus. I'm a bit rushed for time now though. This gate didn't look that hard before, but with some energy spent, it suddenly looks a lot harder. I figured I could get my back wheel to land on top of it, but with it being round and mossy, I didn't know if my tyre would grip. To a little surprise, it did grip, and away I go to the next gate, with only a few seconds left.
7 seconds. 4, 3, 2,
Yes.
1. No, you don't.
I was so close to cleaning the whole section, as I only had a slope to roll down to the exit, but 50 out of 60 is still a good score.
Got the front axle out of the section.
That time went really quickly.
We did the second lap in a different order. The first gates on this section were again cleaned without much issue. Ross tried this rock from a run-up and it looked way better than a side-up, so I copied his technique. Sadly, I couldn't quite get it, even with a few tries.
Oh, poor bike.
Onto the section we started on, and this time I have no confusion as to where to go, so I can keep it all on the rear wheel on the first gates for speed. I attack the correct gate this time, but my front wheel goes further than I expected and I lose grip on the front tyre. I almost crash, but a dab saves me. After that I get another chance at the bigger rock, but my pedal hook technique isn't great on this bike and I don't get up high enough to find any grip.
I was exhausted.
The long section again, can I get as far as last time? To give myself a good chance, I try to be quick over the first few gates.
Yo.
Oh, it's disgusting.
You got it.
Even though I did this last lap, my confidence isn't great. This is a nasty gate. Lack of commitment held me back and down I go. You've got to have quick feet to be a trials rider.
Ah! This is not an improvement of my first lap.
Okay, when you're ready.
Back down into the woods and one of my favourite sections of the first lap. This first part is great fun to do fast.
Clear the section!
I did the technical section around the tree quicker too, and my technique over this tricky next gate worked last time, so I repeat it again. My tyres held up on a rounded rock too, and this was looking like it could be my first cleaned section. Well, that was until I made a daft mistake. I still don't really know what happened, but my bike didn't do what I expected, and my foot caught on the pedal, and I had a little tumble, hurting my pride.
Yeah, that was wild. Oh, I'm there.
Onwards and upwards though, with the hill climb section on the last of the second lap. The start was pretty much a clone of my first lap. The roll down was equally as sketchy too, but at least I didn't have any cute dogs in the way this time. But then another mistake. Lack of wheel awareness caught me out as a rock stopped my bike from pivoting.
I am getting way worse now.
I can't do as well as my first lap, so I take a risk by sending a gap to the next gate, which ended up working pretty well. With only a few seconds left and a gate I can't do, I end the section to save my energy.
I can't even do this next gate, so that'll do me. Don't think I'm going to have the energy to do the third lap.
Before we get onto the last lap, I'd like to give some appreciation for the other riders here. Adam Morwood is one of the UK's best 20-inch riders and put on a good show in Elite. Charlie Rolls was also here and is a pleasure to watch. Another of the country's best 20-inch riders. Andrew Chai was also rocking Elite. He's been in the scene for a long time and does a lot for the sport. He's also a fantastic rider and another good one to watch.
Nice.
After entering a comp on my mountain bike last year, I'm stoked to see a couple of riders enter on theirs. What's even cooler is that this is Adam Wilson, a rider I competed against 20 years ago and was a rider that always had more style than anyone else. So cool to see him again after all these years. And likewise, a shout out has got to go to Brad Stead for also competing on his mountain bike, with 180mm travel too. I'd love to see more people coming to a trial and using whatever bike they have. As I always say, you really don't need a trials bike to compete at a trials comp, as these guys prove.
I joked about doing a trial on downhill bike, that's as close as you're going to get.
Yeah, 180.
Ross MacArthur was riding the same route as me and found some different ways to do the same gates. He was riding well and managed a few gates I failed on. And also a big thanks to Ross for doing a lot of today's filming.
Go, I'll get through this next one. Yes.
A rider I was stoked to see here was Ben from Tarty Bikes at his first comp. If you phone up or place an order at this great shop, it's more than likely he'll answer the phone or at least be involved in getting your parts sent out in one way or another. He's wanting to help push the sport and has lots of cool ideas. Keep an eye on Tire Bikes as there's some good things coming. I couldn't leave out Alex and his old school Monty. This was his first comp in a long time, but he's still got the skills. It's really cool to see this bike ridden like this. The looks, location and even sound of the bike is bringing back all the memories.
Sorry mate.
My third and last lap was similar to the previous two.
Right, third time's a charm.
Okay, when you're ready.
Here goes.
I was looking forward to this section again as it's fun and one I think I can clean. Once again, I waste no time on the first few gates. When I get to one of the tricky gates, I notice someone has knocked a flag opening up the bottom of the rock. Rather than repeat what's worked twice before, I decide to change tactic. Big mistake. Not only did I fail the rest of the section, I also slid my arm down the side of a very sharp rock. Ouch!
Yeah, what your arm I was worried about.
Oh, it's blood dripping out of it now.
Yeah,
Right on the corner of that guy.
yeah. No, that didn't.
Should have done it the way I did it last two
You
times.
did it beautifully, yeah.
Ouch.
Yes.
Damn it! Why is that so hard? How did I do that first lap? That is us all done. First lap was really good. Second lap wasn't great. Third lap wasn't great. I'm definitely noticing my fitness for this kind of stuff is lacking a little bit. My legs and arms started to give up, and then yeah, my arm definitely started to give up after I slid it down a rock. But that was actually really good fun. The bike was really good fun. I got a random puncture halfway through just practicing, which was annoying, but other than that, I've really enjoyed riding it.
Results time. First up, today's comp, and then the overall national results.
We will start with the primary and the younger age group. So in third place we have George Burge. Second place we have Harry Craig. And in first, Harry Little. And George, that's excellent. There you go. See if we can get that through everybody. So in the primary senior, we have Stefan Williams in second place. And Daisy Craig takes the top set. Right, novice, within the age category for novice, we have Will Blackwell in second place. And we have Ronnie Birch. Family or something like that. Special prize at the end of the day. Turn your red- Okay, and then in novice senior, this was actually a great battle between five of them, but in third place at his first trial, big round of applause for Ben. Matthew. There's Matthew. Yay. And in his usual top step, Carl Waitman. Thank you. Now we get into the intermediates, so the blue. In third place we have Lucas. Third. In second place, Nathan Jackson. And in first place, Ben Shepherd. Nathan Jackson with a smile.
Red. Whoa. No, in
Third
blue.
place, Adam Wilson, who, if you notice, rode on a mountain bike. So Adam in third. In second place, Ethan Pyle. So well done, Ethan.
No, George should put it on backwards like this.
And a very convincing first, Tom. Thomas. Yeah. Well done. Well, to expert. And in third place is Ali Clarkson.
Thank you very much.
Second place, we have Eddie Waitman. From a gentleman that we haven't seen for a while. He says he doesn't quite know where all his wheels are all the time, but it was very impressive. Dave Kerr. So welcome back. I didn't think they would.
In third place, again, another returner, Will Ackerley. In second place, Adam Moorwood. And in first place, Charlie Rolls. He had it's Cameron Ledwidge. Nathan, do you want to come and take Cameron's for him? In second place, and this is fantastic, I'll come back to this in a minute, but Daisy Craig. So well done, Daisy. And taking the series championship, Stefan Williams. So primary, in third place we have Harry Craig. And in second place, George Burge. And in first place, Harry Little. Well done, Harry. Right, now we move to novice senior. And in third place, we have Sarah Tate. And in second place, and there's a big part of me would prefer these to be the other way around, but they're not, Paul Tate. Bask in the glory, because this will be the last year that you get in front of him. And first, Carl Waitman. Come on, Carl. At this point, I would just like to say a massive well done to both Daisy and Sarah. And then novice, Nathan Jackson in third place in green. In second place, William Blackwell. Well done. Taking the winner's jersey and the National Cup for novice, Ronnie Bird. So Stuart Robertson has taken third in intermediate senior. So Ross, I'm going to ask you to come forward and accept that on his behalf. In second, Tom Malloy. And series winner and jersey winner, Ethan Pyle. Here's another one that you'll not see right here again. I don't think this has ever happened before, has it? No. Right, so here we go. In third place in intermediate, Nathan Jackson. In second place, Lucas Burge. And in intermediate, taking the winner's jersey, Ben Shepherd. Well done. Brilliant. In third place, we have Finn Johnston. In second place, Ali Clarkson.
Really? Must be a mistake.
No, it's not. Right, and taking the overall series, fantastic result, young Eddie Waitman.
Don't know how that happened.
Right, so here we are, the big
Cheers,
boys. And so for elite third place, Andrew Chai. So you're going to have to get somebody. And in second place, we have Charlie Rose. And the series winner, Adam Merwood.
So there we go, everyone. That is the comp done. That is the British Champs Series all done as well. And I can't believe I got second. I don't know how that even works because I've only done 2 rounds and I've come third at both of them, so I don't know how that ends up being second, but I'll take it. That was a tough trial. It didn't make it out of any section, which fortunately with the rules that we now run, doesn't really matter. With the old rules, I would have failed every single section and got the absolute maximum score and done as bad as you can do. Whereas with these new rules where you get points and the person with the most points at the end wins, actually means that I did okay and got third. So these new rules, I quite like them. The bike held up really well. I actually really enjoyed riding it. It reminds me so much of the bikes I used to ride. The brakes held up lovely and yeah, I could actually do some fairly big moves on it. It's just my body was letting me down a little bit. The second and third lap, the tiredness kicked in and then yeah, scraped my arm down the rock, which is looking and feeling pretty sore right now. So fatigue took in, but yeah, I'll take it. I'll take third. I'm stoked with how today went. That was good fun. Of course, I'd like to say a huge thanks to David and the crew for putting on such a cool event, such a cool series. If you guys would like to enter trial yourself, then yeah, I can highly recommend it. I entered a trial on my mountain bike last year was that, and it's good to see more people entering on their mountain bikes this year. If you want to enter a trial, you do not need a trials bike. Just bring whatever bike you've got and just send it. It's good fun.
How was your day? How was your ride?
So on the second section, at the first lap, I pulled my lower back, just failing a side top, and it was pretty sore all day. So other than that, had a good few laps. My second lap was the best, and yeah, good day overall.
You got further than me in a few sections, so
happy with that. Thank you. Thanks for filming.
Yeah, you're gonna thank you for coming.
Have an amazing week, everyone, and I'll catch you next time. Take care. Bye bye.